Hello again, I am Blunty, and if you are kind of a zero-budget live streamer slash YouTuber slash whatever, then you might be interested in this. I picked it up from Amazon as I was making another order, just to make the shipping worthwhile, basically, for about 20 bucks. And it's a little clamp here, which you can clamp onto the edge of your desk or anything, really, anything clampable, a clampable surface. You can whack that on there. It's actually quite a nice little clamp, too. Quite solid. It's metal and everything, so strong, good spring. And it's got a couple little bendy arm goosenecky things on the other end here, one of which has a cell phone holder on one end, a little spring-loaded thing. And if I grab my iPhone 7 Plus here, yeah, there we go. So big enough to hold the big cell phones, no problem at all with that. It's got a little ball joint on the back there, so you can sort of adjust it to finer degrees once you get your gooseneck in position where you want it. And zerp, this thing here, which is a USB powered light, so it can turn it off there, turn it on, and it's got actually a mix of LEDs in there. It's got some pale ones for cool lighting, it's got some orangey type ones for warm lighting, and you can mix them together for maximum brightness or an even lighting thing. We'll get into that in a bit more detail in a second, but construction wise, in general, I'm actually quite impressed by it. For 20 bucks, I was expecting something kind of, you know what I mean, it's going to fall apart in 6 months kind of thing, but it's actually really quite nice. The light here is really well constructed, doesn't feel flimsy or anything like that. The LEDs, I mean, they're cheap LEDs with cheap electronics in there, but they get the job done, and I'll show you more about that in a second again. The gooseneck material is sort of tough, and it doesn't feel like it's going to break, and it does hold things in position quite nicely and everything, even sort of my phone with a lens attached and everything, the light that doesn't sort of gradually slide down over time or anything. It's stiff enough to keep itself in position. Giggity. And a little controller there where you can change the brightness of the light as well. So we go down, 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 and up, 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 up. It's actually quite bright. And as I said, USB powered, so you can plug it into your laptop and whatnot. When you're sort of at your desk or anything, or your cell phone charger, or any USB port really that supplies power, or if you're on the go, if you're out in the world, if you're in a hotel room, if you're out sort of at the pub or something and you're live streaming from there, you can plug it into one of the battery pack thingies, the USB battery pack thingies that we use to keep our phones charged and everything, and it works just fine. If I can find the switch again. There we are. So yeah, for 20 bucks, I'm really quite impressed, but I could just sit here and tell you about this thing, or I could show you about this thing, of course the second one being much more useful. So, here we are in my ambient lit environment. The only real light in the room is from a couple of PC monitors, and as you can see, hardly conducive to making a video which is interesting to watch. It's just not. Your first instinct may be to turn on the room lights, of course. Hey, there's lights on my ceiling, I could turn those on and everything's going to be fake. It's a horrible color temperature usually. It's sort of straight down lighting, which is hardly the most flattering lighting possible, so let's get rid of that. Let's turn on the ring light. So there you are, much better already. It's a soft light, it's coming from the front, it's illuminating my face without any sort of harsh shadows from the above or from the side and things like that, so pretty nice. It's also on the minimum brightness setting right now as well, just FYI. So let me start turning this thing up, and you can go up in several stages of brightness up until we reach maximum brightness right there, which is actually really quite bright. It's a little bit difficult to look straight into when it is the only light in the room, as a matter of fact, so I'm going to stop squinting and turn it down to about, we'll call that 70-ish%. So there you go, that's a clear demonstration of the difference and benefit this thing can have. For a $20 bit of kit, I'm actually quite surprised by it. The light is much better than I thought it would be as well, considering if you buy a $20 worth of LED panel video light kind of thing that you usually see, little things like this, they're usually not that fantastic. I have tried a few of them, they're handy to have in your bag and stuff when you're out and about, sort of lighting things and getting creative with it and stuff, but it's, you know, it's hardly magnificent lighting. And this is a little sort of step above what you usually get. I mean, it's not great when compared to the hundreds of dollars worth of studio lights that one might use if one was a fancier YouTuber, but if you're a zero budget YouTuber or live streamer or whatever, then this is a really good investment for 20 bucks. And of course, if you, like me, spend a portion of your YouTubing time demonstrating things on a desktop, doing sort of little unboxings or product demonstrations, or just, showing something off, then it also can come in handy there. Clamp it on the edge of your desk, get a nice stable platform from which to shoot from, so you don't have to try and hold the camera with one hand anymore. You don't have to try and straddle around a tripod that's in front of your desk and you have to reach around it like I used to do back in the day and things like that. But I would probably, I've got the light just sort of off to the side here to give us a little bit of a side lighting to get some, depth to the shapes here. But I would probably supplement this, if I were you guys, with a secondary little light or something like that, just to fill in stuff from the side. There we go, that's much better. So I've just got another little cheapo light off to the side there. But yeah, as you can see, also really nice for desktop demonstrations. And I think this is one of the main uses I will be using it for, is the sort of desktop mounted stuff. And I just need to shoot sort of quick little product demo or some B-roll or something, or whatever it is I'm doing sort of at my desk here. Just being able to clamp the iPhone to the edge of the desk, have a built-in light and everything, just ready to go, boom, instant like that. Very, very useful. Alright, so here's an easy way for me to demonstrate to you exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about color temperature. So I'm taking a screen cap here of Filmic Pro, which is one of those third-party camera apps which you can lock and manually adjust the white balance. So if you are serious about video making on your iPhone, this is a really good app to have. It gives you a lot of control, but you really do not need to know what you're doing before it's any use to you. So anyway, let's come over to the little white balance setting here. Let me put my hand in there so I can get some skin tone as well. So you can watch the sort of, if you watch this area here, you can see the color temperature automatically adjust, which is what the standard camera app does. But you can also watch the little sliders there as it sort of adjusts to the color temperature that the camera thinks it's presented with. So this is the mixed mode right here. So switch over to the cool mode, and then the warm mode. See how that sort of went red, so orangey, and then sort of came back down to white as it sort of automatically white balances. Keep an eye on it. That's what the default camera app does. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go back to the mixed mode lighting, and I'm going to lock the white balance. So you can see the little auto white balance is turned red. So now when we switch it around, you can see the difference in the color temperature. In fact, let me get rid of this so you can see it better. And now, this is the mixed mode. This is what we've white balanced to. This is where our white balance is locked. So it thinks this is white under these lighting conditions, this white piece of paper. This is what it knows to be white. So if we go to the cool temperature mode here, you can see everything takes on a little bit of a blue tinge, sort of in the highlights and the reflection and the camera here and the sheen on the camera and things like that. And the warm mode, same thing. Everything gets a little bit warmer, a little bit more orange. Mostly being able to change the color temperature of light is handy when you're mixing lighting in. So if we turn the sort of overhead lights back on again, we turn this thing up to maximum brightness. As you can see there, with the cool lighting on, warm light up there, cool lighting here, you get one look. Warm lighting on here, warm lighting up there, you get another look. And with the mixed mode, something different again. So let's turn that back off. Let's go ahead and turn one of my studio lights on, just as an example of a little bit of fill light to make things look better. See the difference that can make? Just a little relatively low brightness light off to the side there. I mean, it is a great big studio light, but the concept is the same. Just it could be a desk lamp or something like that. And just a little bit of fill light. And all of a sudden it looks much, much better again. One complaint I will make about this thing is that the light in particular, the circuitry in the light responsible for the dimming of the LED bulbs, if it's not on highest or lowest brightness, if it's somewhere in the middle, you can sometimes get a high-pitched whine from the electronics. And that probably will be picked up if using the onboard microphone on your phone. I'm using an off-board microphone right now, if I can put it in a frame for you here. Little Sennheiser hand mic, which I reviewed recently. Really good. But that is a problem you can avoid just by having the thing on maximum brightness or on lowest brightness. So, like, it doesn't happen sort of all the way through the range. Let me just turn it right down here, so that's the dimmest one. There's a little bit of a whine there. Actually, let me unplug the microphone and see if you can actually hear this thing coming through the mic. So there we go. Now I'm using the on-board microphone on the iPhone itself. I'm going to be silent, see if you can hear the whine. I can hear it quite clearly. So I'm going to turn it up to mid brightness. There we go. There's a stage where it's whining a little bit louder. And up to max brightness where the whine goes away. But there you are. Hopefully this has been a useful demonstration about the benefits of something cheap like this for you zero budget live streamers, zero budget YouTubers out there. It really can be $20 quite well spent to give you much more power when it comes to making your videos and live streams and stuff like that, making them look better, making you look better. I mean, with a face like this, there's only so much you can do with the light, but you know, for those of you out there who are prettier than I am, or indeed those of you who use makeup and hair products and things like that to help you look good on camera, which I do none of, obviously. I mean, it's $20. Give it a go. Like I said in the opening, if you're a zero budget YouTuber, if you're just starting out, if you don't have the money, resources to get yourself some proper studio lighting and everything like that, and let me sort of turn off my own studio lighting here. That's what my camera looks like right now without the studio lighting. Actually, we'll turn that one back off again. Let me light myself with the. There you go. Yeah, the color temperature looks a bit weird from this compared to what I've got my studio lights set at. So, but yeah, I mean, if you're a zero budget YouTuber, $20 will get you this thing, and it's actually quite a powerful little tool. I'm going to keep it around myself, despite having all this equipment. It's still a useful thing to have in the tool arsenal to be able to snatch out, just do something quick at the desk, or again, if I'm traveling, I might even take it with me next time I travel. It might be useful in a hotel room or something if I just want to do a quick vloggy style thing. Even if I don't use the cell phone at the time, if I just use this camera with this light correctly white balanced or something like that, I don't know. It could come in useful in a multitude of ways, and I really quite like it. So, thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and I'll catch you next time. Actually, let me try that again. We'll do it dramatic. We'll do it dramatic like. I'll turn this. Let's set this up. Table right here. Put it right. There we go. Now I can do a dramatic, sort of cinematic, not cinematic sign off, but just a sign off that's more interesting than just me saying goodbye. Thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time. Boop, boop, boop. That work? I felt like that worked. Oh God, I'm going to give myself a seizure. All I can see is rings.